Hello, everyone. I'm Jess Tutera, and today on Identity Talks, I'm joined by Matt Mills, our Chief Revenue Officer. Welcome to Identity Talks, Matt.
Hi, Jess. Thanks for having me.
So we talk a lot about how business essential identity governance is today. One of the easiest ways to illustrate that point is to imagine what our world would look like if identity governance didn't exist. How would you describe that, Matt?
Yeah, so think of it this way, Jess. When you look back over the last few months, this COVID-19 pandemic has struck us. It's really flipped our world upside down. It's forced our workers to stay home. Our schools are closed. Non-essential businesses are shut down, and our entire workforce has gone virtual, right? And so companies without an identity governance plan are forced to answer questions that I think, quite frankly, many of them aren't prepared to answer. For instance, just for your everyday office worker, right? Not only do you have to figure out how to, what's the new norm in terms of working remotely, but how do you do your job securely, right? Without opening yourself up to potential liability and even exposing your own personal data every time you access a non-secured app or data source, right? CIOs, how do you prove without a shadow of a doubt who has access to the applications, the infrastructure and data that make up your business? I always think about the CISO, all right? I feel bad for those guys. They're sitting out here. How do you report to your CEO with great confidence that all your IP is secure? And more importantly, or equally importantly, how do I ensure that all my employees still have access to what they need to be able to run the business efficiently, right? And then there's the board. How do you answer the questions from the board in terms of what is your risk and what are you doing about it? And then last, but certainly not least, your customers. How do you guarantee to your most prized possession, your most important asset, that their data is protected, right? And and they're secure from a potential data breach, right? I think without identity, all these questions remain unanswered. And I don't think any business can afford to move forward today without being able to confidently answer questions like these.
Great. You've given us a lot to think about here today, Matt. Thanks for your time.
You
For
bet.
our Identity Talks viewers, stay tuned. Matt will be blogging on this topic and more in the coming weeks, so keep those eyes open. Until then, I'm Jess, and this is Identity Talks.